Hey, hey, hey! Welcome back to Hooligans Pitch. It's been a little bit. Had a little postseason break.
Small one.
But we back.
Okay.
Gotta talk Champions League.
Of course.
There's some Premier League rumblings around of things that need to be discussed. But here we are. Back for more.
And Madrid did it again.
Was there ever a doubt?
Yeah. Shouldn't have been one, but of course.
My gosh. Well, look, before we get into that,
Yep.
get your drink out.
It's ready.
Let's see what you got
It's
over
cold. Terror from the Deep. I've had it before. I love the artwork. It's very
there. Yeah,
neat.
that's cool.
Tasty beer. What are we doing here? 8%.
All right.
Haze level. Extreme. I don't know if you can read
my
that.
God.
But so watch out.
Yeah, dang.
And
Okay,
you?
okay. I'm finishing off a pack of High Noons we got.
Okay.
Little guava flavor in here, so keep it light and refreshing. It's finally starting to warm up out here.
Oh man, it's getting hot and humid here. It was dumping rain, thunderstorms. I stepped outside and I was like, I thought it was gonna be like cold, and it was mid 80s.
Yeah.
Not
well, you're
fun.
like mid cicada season too, right?
Oh yeah, the broods are dying. They're falling out of the sky. It's disgusting. I got hit. I statted a game last week and I was just getting like hit in the head multiple times.
Oh, no.
They're nasty, man. They go in, they're like, it's awful. You can't. It's wild. You just got to be here.
I guess so. Maybe one day I'll experience.
Don't
that.
recommend it, but maybe. So yeah, I watched the game at my local little soccer pub where everyone seems to go to watch these games. Overwhelmingly surrounded by Real Madrid fans.
Figure.
I did wear my Sac Republic kit, got a few compliments, which I gotta say, compliments on Sac Republic out in Missouri is pretty neat. I think beating the Earthquakes really did kind of put them on the map, and people realize they're a team, they exist.
Yeah.
So
way out here.
So that was kind of cool. Not on the same level as Madrid, but
Yeah.
watching the Madrid fans squirm and be nervous in that first half was pretty sweet. Yeah, overall, I had a good time. What did you do for the game?
Yeah, I just watched it at home, kept it kind of low key. It was nice though. Like it just got a little iced coffee, had a little brekkie.
Yeah. That was a
Got
nooner
all
for you,
together.
right? You got like a little brunch
Yeah.
going, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, more of a brunch, but yeah, it was nice. Game was fun to watch. As a neutral, I was certainly pulling for Dortmund, but that was always going to be a long shot. I think Madrid just have that Champions League magic that they somehow find a way to win, either whether they're playing well or not.
Dortmund played really good. I mean, that first half was theirs. It was shocking they didn't put at least one past Courtois, but at the same time, who puts one past Courtois in the Champions League? Yeah. No one? No one has, right?
I don't think so. I mean, there was like a glimmer of hope because he had been out with an injury for so long, and kind of his first step back into a big game like this. I thought maybe he'd be a little shaky, but he looks fine. Hadn't missed a beat.
It's crazy, man. It's wild. So what is that? 6 Champions League titles?
6 in the
last
last
12?
12, 11, something like that.
Yeah, it's up there.
Just unreal numbers. And now they just assigned Mbappe, so it just gets better for Madrid fans.
Is that official?
I think it is today. I think Mbappe himself posted picture of him in like a Madrid kit or something.
Okay. Damn it.
So yeah, they're if they were scary this year, even though maybe they weren't the player by player, not the scariest squad, they just kind of had that magic. Now they're just back up there with maybe competing with the Ronaldo days of just pure dominance.
And they're probably going to get Davies. He really wants to go there.
Yeah.
This might be the fastest team we've ever seen.
It could be.
Think
You got
about
a lot of speed out there, and then if you add Davies in, that's quite a bit more pace.
And
I saw they
Rudiger
gave
might be
Modric one more year, so he's going to bring down the average. But
he'll bring it down a little bit. No more Cruz.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, gosh, you look at their starting 11. Slowest one on the team might be Carvajal.
Probably,
Like,
but he also
boo-hoo.
still finds his way into good attacking positions, so maybe he doesn't need the speed.
That's incredible, man. Yeah, this team is
Yeah,
different.
yeah. I was really pulling for Dortmund. Especially that first half. They came out of the gate, I think, really strong, disrupted Madrid's game plan. But it felt like once we got to half and Dortmund hadn't scored, it was like, I don't like that. That's a bad sign. You needed to take advantage of at least one of those
I
opportunities. That, like,
know.
Adeyemi got through that one time, and I think Courtois came out and then he dribbled kind of wide, and they
That was
had
a big touch.
maybe two post
Yeah, the
shots
Fulkrug
in there,
one,
and
that one would have probably been off if they had looked at it and it had
I
gone
think
in.
so. Yeah.
It did count as a shot on target. Courtois faced 42 shots in the 2 Champions League finals he's been in. 23 of them were from Liverpool. And that game was ridiculous. But yeah, he stopped almost. He saved 14. So not bad.
Not bad at all. But yeah, good as a neutral. It was entertaining.
Yep.
And I always prefer those finals between teams from different countries. So nice to get that. Nice to kind of have an underdog to root for rather than it being like Madrid versus City or something. I was like, well,
the games we've got in the last, man, almost 6 to 7 years here. I'm looking at the history. They've all been really close. I think the blowout was really the Madrid Liverpool game, because Karius did his thing in the beginning, and that just got out of hand kind of quickly. But I mean, looking back, Inter and City 1-0, Madrid, Liverpool 1-0, Chelsea City 1-0, Bayern and PSG 1-0. Like, those are all really tight finishes all the way down to the end. Yeah. And this game was coming down to the end until Maatsen made his really rough. That is a bonehead move, dude. That was right. Oh, these passes across the middle are just bizarre. I think another one happened in their back line too. That was just like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, they started to fall apart, especially after that second goal. But I think I understand he's getting a lot of criticism for it, but he still looks like such a good player and very promising. And I think Chelsea still have him. I don't think Dortmund has.
Oh, really?
Him. I think, but Dortmund has liked him and was at least talking about buying him. I think you probably do, unless Chelsea wants to keep you. But then, as the player, you got to make sure that you're going to get that play time. Where at Dortmund you've been playing as much as you can, and
right.
Yeah, I think he just lost some concentration or something there, and because not only is that pass across your back line dangerous anyway, but there's no speed on it either. It's like so flat.
And I've watched a chunk of the Dortmund games this year just because they've been fun to watch, and he's never even in that position to really pass that ball across the center backs like that, right? He's playing so wide. His only option is usually to play to his midfielder, where at least his center backs are behind him a little bit more, or to just go back to either Schlotterbeck or Hummels, and that was just, oh, what a killer. Oh, that game after that, I was like, well, that sealed it. Even though there were, 10 minutes left?
Yeah, I mean, I think Dortmund maybe got one more tiny little look, but I don't think it was, nothing to really worry about. But to put up a good fight against Madrid for the vast majority of the game still says pretty good about you and your season. But
for sure, and no one saw Dortmund going to the finals.
No,
come on,
not at all.
Show me one person who said Dortmund after all these other stacked teams that were waiting. It's pretty crazy how far they made it.
Yeah, they were on a good run, and consistently looked really good. I mean, I think Hummels was our top scoring
by
player
far.
in fantasy.
By
So
far. And he still had a good game. I mean, points wise, he had a good game. I can't believe he's not on Germany's Euro team. That's
a mistake.
Crazy. Why would you not want that guy after what he just did this season? Even if he's not going to play, at least have him there.
Yeah. I mean, you think, okay, maybe you want to just play a younger squad, but we've seen Chelsea play the younger squad and time again have to rely on Thiago Silva to come in and play or at least offer some leadership. And I think you got a guy like Hummels who can do that. And say you get to the Euro finals, he's been to multiple Champions League finals. He's been, World Cup final and stuff. Like, he's got this all this big game experience and knowledge that he can bring into it, and maybe calm some of the younger guys down or get them a little more focused.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. There must be something behind the scenes there that hasn't come out.
Gotta be.
But it just seems crazy to not.
Schlotterbeck made it.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Is like, it's not a anti-Dortmund thing. It's just something with Hummels.
Yeah, only 2 Dortmund players made it, at least on the German squad. They have a couple guys, I guess, that would have considerations. And then on top of that, I was thinking the Dutch squad, you got Dumfries and Maatsen on that side. And it's like, oh man, like, what are you going to do over there?
Yeah. I mean, I guess you maybe just
find a way to
play both and rotate them, so it's like always kind of fresh on that side, right? Like, yeah, and they're both pretty good at occupying those attacking spaces and contributing. And I think you probably just rotate both. It's a lot of games in a short time window, so
I could be mistaken. And there might be a deadline. They might have until the 7th. I don't know if this is the final roster, but Maatsen isn't in this. The 4-4-2.
Oh, really?
Roster. Yeah, I can't. If he's not there, that's crazy.
Yeah, that would be a miss for sure. Oh wait,
Frimpong is solid. Is it accurate?
5 days ago, Ian Maatsen dropped.
Wow.
Oh yeah, so Netherlands confirmed their squad on May 29th. So
wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was originally named in the preliminary squad at the start of May, but then didn't make the final squad.
What a shit week.
So yeah, see, he maybe had some things on his mind.
Yeah, that's crazy. They would release that knowing he was on the fringe and.
Yeah.
Ooh. Sorry, dude. That sucks.
Yeah, that's a big miss. I mean, just purely for his experience, you had such a good season, getting a lot of minutes and progressing far in Champions League, playing in the final. You're doing everything right to make your Euro squad, right? And then all of a sudden to not make it after all that. Days before Champions League final too.
That's rough. And if you look at the Dutch backline, though, it's pretty stacked. So I understand the nod to the other guys, but at the same time, it's like, did you really need Wout Weghorst? Does he really need to be on this squad right now? Is he really like that's going to be your number 9? You couldn't have Maatsen in there and maybe shift around your front 3?
Yeah,
that'd be my argument.
That's fair. I think that's probably would be a fair swap. Like, I don't know that you'll see much of Weghorst up there. Be a last minute. We need a goal. Chuck some balls into the box so he can head it down. But
yeah, I know. I hope Gakpo does Gakpo things from the Netherlands because that's what he's known for.
I think it should be okay.
Well, any more on Real Madrid in that game too? I mean, they played brilliantly. There wasn't mistakes. They didn't make any mistakes. They had a great game from Courtois, so that
I mean,
is always helpful.
I think my only criticism really is Rodrigo was just like non-existent, and you have Vinny up there, so it's not a huge loss, but he went over 89 minutes or whatever and really did nothing.
Did you see his stat line?
Yeah, I just peeked at it last night,
Yeah.
but so that was, I mean, yeah, they started the game rough and kind of built their way back into it, but for him to just really not do anything and not even really find a lot of touches on the ball was like, for me, I would think Dortmund knows you're going to Vinny, so they're probably going to guard him more. So Rodrigo should almost always be open or be able to find a channel to sneak into. And it seemed like any runs he was trying to make just weren't effective, or he wasn't seeing them himself. But yeah, it's they work around it, I guess. They got that magic and some good juju on their side for the Champions League.
I want to see Madrid do this in Europa. I know it will be very hard for them to get to that position, but
yeah,
man, I feel like the Europa League teams aren't scared of big name teams the same way
true.
Dortmund respects Madrid, right? There was definitely that feel of respect, especially towards the second half, from what I noticed. Gosh, man, if Dortmund would have scored in the first half, it would have been such a different game going down to the end. That was a killer. What did you think of I'm just trying to recall some of the game here. The Schlotterbeck yellow card, the quick yellow that came out after, I think he tackled Vinny and really didn't touch him much. Oh no, he didn't touch him at all. He came over to the ref to argue it, and the ref's like, boom, yellow immediately.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the ref do that a couple times actually.
Back to back with Sabitzer. That was the second one that came
Sabitzer
right
was
after.
The second one. Yeah, I think that was just. It felt harsh to me. Like, I mean, regardless of it being a tackle or not, to be in the final, you want this game to end 11v11 as much as you can. So to throw out a quick yellow card for dissent, complaining, whatever, just feels like you're not putting enough thought into the context of the game. You're deep into first half, at 40 minutes. So they know the vibe of the game and how the reffing is going, but I think up until then the ref was kind of letting a lot go.
The Vinny tackle on the keeper, which was lighter once we looked at it more.
Yeah.
But I mean, the keeper got the ball. He still made a challenge on him. I thought it was soft.
Yeah. It was just, one of those coming togethers, but keepers are protected, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
But yeah, I think the ref could have done better to just kind of talk to Schlotterbeck and Sabitzer and just okay, chill.
And Sabitzer was talking to the linesman.
Yeah.
And there's no, I mean, it's hard to know if he actually heard what he said because his back was to him, but it was it just happened so fast.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it played too much of a role in how Dortmund moved forward in the second half, but it very well could have. So I think the ref should have been smarter there and just at least give them the one verbal warning there, and then if they want to keep complaining, then you can pull out a yellow. But to just almost instantly,
fast.
Schlotterbeck, he almost just looked over at the ref and he's like, "Yellow for you."
It's so crazy. Whoa.
Don't look at me.
Yeah, that was the one thing I didn't like. After we complimented, what a fair.
I know.
We literally jinxed it, all of us. We were and it was. I thought it was I thought the ref was doing good at telling the players to calm down at certain times, or not right now. Something set him off where he's like, it's over for you.
He had a strict 40-minute clock on. He's like, all right, now the card's coming out.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, props to Madrid. They did it again.
Well done. We'll see you do it next year.
I love dynasties, but dynasties need to end, and you've reached your point of annoying me now. It's time. I want to see someone else take over, at least a little. It's pretty ridiculous, and I don't think they could repeat next year, and it'd be like
they very well could.
I mean,
they're only getting stronger. Their biggest loss is Tony Cruz, but You still have Bellingham there. Modric is older, so he probably won't play as much, but he's still there in that midfield. Valverde is there as well, and that you added Mbappe to this. You might be getting Davies in here.
Rumors of Foden, since Pep might be
Oh,
leaving,
really?
which we can segue. Yeah, we can segue to Premier League now. Rumbles of Pep leaving next year.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know how true that actually is. I thought it was kind of interesting when that came up. Dodging all those charges too.
Conveniently timed.
Pretty smart, if you ask me. I'd get out too if you knew they were coming and.
Sure.
They're probably gonna. It would not shock me if they happen after he leaves. That's just crazy.
It could, and because the case brought against Man City is through the FA, not FIFA
right
itself. So any charges and bans, I think, would only apply to England and games within those competitions.
Yep.
So if you kind of see the writing on the wall, the lawyers are fighting it for as long as they can. So
why else why Pep hasn't made, right? Anyone he wants, he gets, pretty much. I feel like there might be a little insider's voice saying, like, this is not good for us.
Yeah.
You got one more year before things hit the fan. This is it. And so that's why the rumors of Foden, I think, are coming out. Buddies with Jude. It just makes Madrid like an English haven, I guess, for all the guys who want to go down there and enjoy that nice Spanish weather. Don't blame them. It just makes them a powerhouse, which sucks for everyone else.
Yeah, and if you believe that Xabi Alonso is going to follow up at the end of next season and move to Madrid, then now you have a young, exciting coach there, plus all the exciting players that are already there. So if you're a Foden or I don't think he's going to move, but like a Saka, like these young guys that are dominant in their team and young and only getting better. I don't know. You have the chance to join like the next version of the Galacticos, maybe. So
kinda, it's turning into that a little bit right now.
Yeah.
That's shocking. Is that true?
I'm glad
the Alonso rumor.
That's it. It's all rumor and speculation, but Carlo Ancelotti has next season, and they, from what I was reading, they were saying like that's why Xabi didn't leave Leverkusen at the end of this season, because Madrid basically like guaranteed him the role next season.
Great.
So we'll see how that goes. But
how am I supposed to hate him there?
I know. I'm just glad we don't got to play Real Madrid like twice in a season unless you get them in Champions League. But
it's true.
Yeah. So, but I'd be happy to see Pep leave. I think it's time to shake up City a little bit. I think while Pep does have it made, it's got to be getting a little bit boring. Like,
do it with Stoke.
That's the challenge I wanted to see him take. Like,
do the Mourinho. Do it with Roma.
He had it good at Barcelona. Barcelona was already fairly dominant when he got there, and then he got all of Messi and Zlatan. So then had it good at Bayern Munich, because again they were already dominant, and he came in and just kind of propped them up a little bit more. I'd say maybe City has been his biggest struggle, because he had to kind of find the squad and find the way. But now your squad's kind of there. Like,
he had an aging squad when he came in, right?
Yeah. But he still found a lot of success, and then now you've done the treble, you've done the Premier League 4 times in a row. What you could go for another treble? You could just keep winning Premier League, I guess, and just adding that record. But I'd like to see him go to like a second division somewhere and just be that guy that like grabs that team and starts to form them and really pull them up. And then if you could follow that team and like they get up and win the Premier League or whatever top league, like that's a cool story. And maybe the last like big challenge you have beyond going and coaching Spain to the World Cup or something.
How much money does Ryan Reynolds have?
It's got to be a lot. He's putting out a new Deadpool and
Okay.
Wolverine movie, you know.
Do it with Wrexham. Come on. Made for Hollywood, right?
Well, that's the thing. Is like, not that I think Pep's going to go to Wrexham, but Wrexham kind of has that extra pull about them where you are getting players on, national TV, at least over here. I don't know if it's really shown over there at all.
True.
But there's that little extra pull, especially in the lower leagues. Like, your name is getting out there more. You got fans all over the world now, or at least in America, because of this show. Like, I don't know. I mean, if there was going to be a random lower league team that Pep ended up at, it could be Wrexham, just because maybe he's a Ryan Reynolds fan. Maybe
he's an Always Sunny's fan. Like, don't
could be.
Don't forget Rob. Yeah, don't forget Rob.
Yeah.
I think that's on the back burner. That's a pretty far-fetched scenario. Yeah. But I'm gonna give you one that could be real.
Okay.
PSG. Okay. They're always on.
That's a challenge.
But a challenge that is somewhat realistic, right? Because he goes to teams that are already set up to win the domestic league.
Yeah.
They can't get over the Champions League hump. And it's been forever, right? God,
forever, with some big names coming through there.
Huge names. The biggest of names. That is something I like to see Pep do. That is what I would find realistic. Don't go to Inter Milan in Italy. Don't do the teams that are like already almost there and just need a little extra. PSG is close, but they're the furthest out of all the big teams and all the big 5 leagues. They're the furthest away.
Yeah. And I think they're kind of entering an interesting moment now too, of like, they tried, the big star-studded strike force and players throughout the squad, and that kind of fizzled out. And now they're kind of in a rebuild, right? Like, you're losing Mbappe.
They got Ethan Mbappe.
It's true. They do got an Mbappe still. So, but yeah, that it could be a fun challenge, because that French league is more or less PSG's, but they've had some stumbles in the past couple of years. But then, yeah, if you can get them actually over that Champions League hump, that would be pretty big.
You have a squad to build around. Vitinha's great. Yeah. You got a nice back line. You got Hakimi, Marquinhos. Your keeper doesn't want to go anywhere. It's their attack, right? That needs the most help, because they need to score goals in those final rounds, and that's what they've been struggling to do. When Mbappe is struggling to find goals, that's probably the creativity around it, right? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I don't know. I think that'd be a fun one to see, because we'd really only have to see Pep during Champions League, and then he might get some actual criticism if he can't take this team to the next level, because it just shows I'm not saying he's not a great manager, because he is. We've seen it. We've watched it.
Yeah.
But is it are the players doing it more than the coaching sometimes? Yeah, it's a little bit of both, but I'd like to see him take this squad of a bunch of, they're not no names right now, but they're not the A-star caliber players that he's had in the last, decade, over a decade now. How long has it been since Barcelona? 08? Is that when he went there?
Yeah, I think, 08 sounds right.
Wild.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the most realistic place. You're still in a spot where you can go out and get whatever player you want, basically.
You got money.
Got money. That's for sure.
Yep. All right, let's talk the Pochettino at left field later.
Chelsea, what are they doing? Just when we thought Chelsea was kind of like getting it together too.
So close, dude. They were right there, right on the cusp. And we all had their backs. We're like, you know what? Next season, you might be all right. And then out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yes, I've been trying to read on the articles of people with some inside knowledge that try and figure out what happened, and it sounds like Chelsea kind of wants a manager that will just play by their game and their vision. And I think Pochettino was kind of combating that a little bit with what he saw as the right way forward. I saw he had, criticisms of Caicedo and Enzo midfield pairing, which I think is completely fair because
That's what we said.
they looked pretty rough all season. But yeah, I think it was all starting to come together, and I think you've seen some posts from players once Pochettino left, showing that they definitely had respect for him and liked him as a manager. And now to just kind of mutually part ways,
start over again.
And they bring in what's this guy's name?
Enzo Maresca.
Yeah. So,
and he's been around.
He hasn't done anything too crazy, but you're almost back at square one with, you gave Potter the long contract initially and it fizzled out in 7 months, and now this guy's got a 5-year +1 deal.
Over under 2.5 years.
Yeah. 2.5 seems generous,
I will say under. I don't think it'll last that long.
I'm under for sure.
That's crazy, dude.
Unless they're really just gonna finally commit to this, project, which I don't believe they will, because
they said
they haven't
yet. Potter.
But yeah, I think they're just looking for like their Mikel Arteta, right?
That's what I've read.
This guy was under Pep for a little bit. Went over to Leicester and had them playing well and got them promoted. But I mean, it's a risk. Like, appointing Arteta was a risk that paid off, but I don't know that this Chelsea squad is in a place to take that risk. I felt like they needed the stability of the same coach for as long as possible.
I agree. I want to read you. I was on Premier League news, and I did find this kind of funny. It said, "Will Maresca, will his inverted role boost Reece James playing?" And I just thought that was hilarious because I was like, "Dude doesn't play to begin with. How is his role going to change under a new manager when he can't even stay on the pitch?"
Yeah. He gets out there and gets a red card or gets re-injured, and that's it. Like,
wow. He did great with Leicester, though. I mean, now, here's my problem with that, right? I think you and I can both agree. I don't think Leicester should have been relegated last year if Brendan Rodgers didn't sabotage them. We've talked about that before. So he inherited a squad that was already somewhat Premier League ready. I'm sure there was a couple players in there that had to, I guess, understand how that team works. I mean, we're only... 7 years out of them winning a title in the Premier League. And I'm not saying the players are all, I don't think there's anyone there from that title winning run, but the idea of winning it does not seem far-fetched for that club at all, because look, we've done it with this, we could do it with anything. So for them to climb right back out of Championship and be back in Premier League, that's not shocking.
Not at all.
So it's almost, he was there for 1 year, did great in that year. That's one of those situations, though, where I would have loved to see him do that with QPR, right? Yeah. And then Chelsea be like, wow, okay, if he can do it with QPR, I think he can maybe do it with us. But
yeah,
it depends on what they're looking for.
I mean, yeah, it seems like, if you had to place a bet on a team to come right back up that went down last year, it was Leicester.
100%. Should have done it.
They lost, Madison over the summer. Harvey Barnes, I think.
There's a couple guys.
Some names, but they finally. I think I didn't follow them, but they probably spent some money actually to bring in some new players. And they didn't have Rodgers just tanking the team for no reason.
Straight sabotaging.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I hope for our Chelsea fan friends that they can finally get some stability, whether it brings success or not. But it just, Pochettino was, I think, a good big name and respected manager to take you forward. I don't know that you had to dump him quite so quickly. I think you probably could have given him another season now that you saw, the second half of last season, team was really coming together, starting to play well.
Should have been kissing his butt. It really should have. Thank you. Thank you for not
got
turning
you
our shit show.
into Europe. He got you out of the, that 10-11 battle they were in. It seemed like all season. He did. It reminds me of the Mourinho quote where he said, getting I think it's getting Man United to second that one year was like one of his greatest achievements. Like that feels like Pochettino's version right here of like getting this Chelsea team not only playing well but then into Europe. Is a big success. Whether obviously they have higher hopes, but I don't know. I guess it's on par for this Chelsea team. Just it's their fourth manager in the couple years that they've had the new ownership.
Tuchel, Potter,
Potter,
Pochettino, and then
Pochettino. Now, yeah. So, that's we're used to that with Chelsea. Once it kind of goes a little bit sour, they would just dump the manager and move on. But I think with Pochettino, it maybe started sour and finally started to get sweet, and then they were like, "This is weird. We gotta move on.
Too sweet."
Yeah. So I don't know. I thought we had Chelsea figured out, and we don't.
Nope, we do not. All right, on to Ten Hag. Oh, unless you got something else.
Well, no, yeah, Ten Hag's fine. We can go there.
Well, it's crazy. The day before the cup or 2 days before the cup, they say, "Hey, you're out of here." And to this day, Chad,
but is he?
He's still there. He's still there.
That's the thing. Like,
why would you do that to yourself?
It's such a weird to come out and say anything about anything other than, the basic PR, like, he's our manager and we support him. Like, that's all you had to say, right? Like, to now put this weird question mark of like, oh yeah, he's out whether he wins or not, and then now it's like, well, we got to do our end of season review and then we'll figure it out, and now it's just dragging out and getting weirder.
After beating City, and I thought City did play. I thought they played hard. I think they could have played better. I don't want to say that United didn't play, a City team that was unstoppable, but at that point, you could just see the difference of stress in City from that game to the week prior. So again, City should have won. They were the better team on paper, and they're kicking themselves now. But United came out to play, and they did what they had to do. So
yeah, I do like some of the fire now that Ten Hag has in some recent interviews of like, if they want me to leave, I'll just go win trophies somewhere else. Like,
where was that months ago?
I need that throughout the season, not this like complaining about the offside goal against Arsenal really changed our season. Like, he brought that up like 3 times since it happened. It was like, get over it, move on. Like, so I don't know. I think with Pochettino available, it becomes an interesting choice for United, because if you're getting rid of Ten Hag, Pochettino's probably your next best.
Well, De Zerbi's there too, because Brighton wants Potter back.
Yeah, but I think De Zerbi not like tarnished his name, but
it ain't great.
Yeah, like, this Brighton team had their moments, but this season especially just kind of fell apart and had long stretches of just not playing well, and they ended up missing out on some big names, and that definitely plays a part. But I don't know. I mean, United had a pretty long history or injury list as well, so I don't know. I'm okay if Ten Hag stays. I don't think they play that great with him. So,
did you see what Sancho said?
No, I didn't.
I'll come back if he's gone.
Well, there you go. So, see, keep the drama going.
I'm all for it.
It works for me.
A player isn't bigger than the club But at the same time, you look at Sancho and how he played for Dortmund. And I understand they say like, oh, the Bundesliga is not as physical, blah blah blah. Like, did you see him in Champions League?
Yeah,
Slicing it doesn't matter. Slicing people up. It was crazy what he was doing. So it's all motivation. It's all mental. And I get where Sancho's coming from. I can't say I understand where Ten Hag's coming from because we're not in that locker room. But obviously, when the player is confident and happy, it shows. And with Dortmund, he seems to be pretty happy. So I don't even know why he would say, "I'll go back" if he's there. It's like it seems like you're in a good spot now. But he wants to go home if that's a thing.
Yeah, I mean, without really knowing the guy, Ten Hag seems just very like cut and dry. Like not very. He doesn't have that Klopp like friendliness and like do the hugs and all that. Doesn't really have the Arteta like. He's like instilling belief in you because he's just like. It was like has that craziness about it, like intensity. Like, even Pep can be kind of cut and dry, but I think finds a good balance when he's working with the players to kind of be that friendly manager figure, but then also like very strict and has that same intensity that like Arteta shows of like getting his point across.
Pep looks like he's always teaching.
Yeah,
like. What was that game where I think they won like 3 or 4-0, but like immediately after he went up to Holland and he's like, this, like, you need to do these things in order for us to be in this situation. And
I think Holland like missed a header or something. And like, it wasn't even a consequential moment, but
was it when he gave the PK up to Gundogan?
Oh, it might have been that.
And he missed it. Yeah.
I think
it's something like that.
Yeah, but I mean that's the thing is like I don't think we'd ever see Ten Hag take it that way, and I don't think we'll never even see him do like a the Jurgen Klopp like arm around you like really bring it home kind of moment. He seems very just like these are the tactics, you do them. And
I'm the boss.
Yeah, so I get if Sancho doesn't work well under that, then. You're not going to be happy. You're not going to perform as well as you should. And, maybe just time to move on. I don't know if you want to play the waiting game of me or Ten Hag.
Yeah. Dang. And Mourinho's going to Fenerbahce in Turkey, which is a bummer. That got released a day or two ago. And I was like, is it true? And I had to look at it. I was like, it's true. Damn it. I wanted him back in Premier League so bad.
Yeah. I think he'll find his way back here somewhere, but too many big figures in the Premier League right now. Maybe they were like, we can't have Mourinho in here as well.
Not yet.
Yeah. The one I did want to mention though, Company going to Bayern.
Oh man,
we talk about a risk with Chelsea and Maresca. Like Bayern's taking a massive risk.
This could make or break his managerial career. I just want to. Can we do a quick little role play here? I'm gonna be Bayern and you be Company here. Okay. Mm-hmm. Hello, Vincent. Would you like to coach Bayern Munich?
I'm on the plane right now.
Okay, bye. That's totally how it went down.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I saw one comment on Reddit. It was like he probably picked up that call and heard the talk about taking over the managerial spot, and internally he's like, all right, play it cool, Vincent, play it cool. Don't seem too eager, but like, yeah, I'll take it.
It's like, Vincent Company? Me?
Yeah, what a come up. Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know what that was all about. I get it. I mean, obviously the dude's a winner and he's a great leader. Mm-hmm. They must know a lot more than we do because, I mean, I get it's hard to judge, right, against a Burnley team on how good their coaching is when the quality isn't that great. And and what, Bayern's right there too. They have the quality. They just, I guess they need the leadership.
It's just
Tuchel wasn't that guy for leadership. Like, let's be honest. He wasn't the guy on that pitch motivating the team. It was Mueller, it was Neuer, it was Kimmich, it was those guys doing it. And I don't know. Company seems. I think he'll be a good coach. I hope he'll be a good coach for them.
Yeah,
I'm rooting for him.
I think Bayern might be okay. Like, there's enough quality in that team to just kind of survive, I think, and figure it out. But I think it's like you said, this is kind of make or break for Kompany's managerial career. It's like, I don't think it would kill it if it goes poorly, but I think it'll really knock him back to,
Burnley
championship or lower level. Yeah, and have to kind of work his way back. Because like you see, like Frank Lampard started okay in the lower leagues, came up to Chelsea, and didn't really do great by any accounts, and now he's kind of disappeared in the managerial world.
He's an interim, or is he still with Chelsea? He's got to be with Chelsea still.
I think he still is somehow affiliated in the staff or something, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, it's like Wayne Rooney right now, kind of bouncing around the lower leagues, but at the same time, I don't think that's the worst thing to be doing either.
No, yeah, not at all. Like I get it's probably hard for them, having played so many years at a top level, and being on great teams and being some of the best players on those teams, and now you're in a new role, whole new job description, and it's not coming as easy as other things have come to you in the past few years. So I think it's totally fine to bounce around at the lower leagues and just get used to that role. Definitely trying different tactics, and if anything, learning how to adapt tactics, because we can all write out on the notepad of like, this tactic will win the league, but if the players can't, understand it or perform to a level high enough to do that, then obviously you got to change. So yeah, I think it's probably too soon for Kompany, but I think it's maybe a good idea to make a jump like this outside of Premier League, where yes, eyes will still be on you because you're just your Premier League affiliation, but not as microscopic as like when Lampard's at Chelsea and they're just like criticizing every single move.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta the difference is, though, Chelsea was in a weird patch. Bayern is set up for at least success, right?
Yeah.
If they do worse than what, third, that's when they're gonna be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Right. Hell, maybe even worse than first next year, since they were expected. How many seasons did they win in a row? 11? Something like that. I think it was around 11.
Ridiculous.
And Harry Kane, if they go 2 seasons in a row with Harry Kane not winning a title there, do you think Harry Kane's going to say, get me out of here?
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean,
I wouldn't either. Real Madrid, hello.
Madrid, there was always the talk about United looking at him. I know they got Højlund, but like, if you can, either you keep Højlund because he's still young, and you bring in Harry Kane as well, and then hope that he learns from Harry Kane, or you cash out on Højlund as much as you can to bring in Harry Kane. Like,
go back to Tottenham.
I think
they have a great year, and he's like, they're close.
Or that, it could be. I'm sure he's happy at Bayern right now, but if you're gonna go somewhere else and still not be winning trophies, then like, you might as well just come back to England where the rest of your friends and family are, right?
And not win trophies there either.
Yeah.
What's the difference at this point? Yeah.
Yeah. It's. I mean, it'll be fun to watch it all play out. Like, I didn't really realize that we were entering this era of like new young managers until all this started to come out, and I was like, oh yeah, like. We still have the Mourinhos and Peps and, Pochettinos and like all these like kind of known managers, Ancelotti, like they're still around, but
upper 60s though.
Yeah, phasing out some of these guys. Like, Klopp, I don't think is going to be done with managing. I think he'll come back and do something, but it's exciting to see just some new blood, new ideas out there, and I don't know who's going to be like the next Pep. Like, everyone always wants to say like it's Arteta. I don't think it's really going to be Arteta. He's kind of paving his own kind of idea. Certainly based on Pep and his tactics, but making it his own. So,
is it wrong for me to think that Arne Slot's going to be the next Klopp? I think the enthusiasm is there. Like, he's so.
Look, you got a guy who kick the ball straight up in the air as a tactic. So like
he's
already galaxy braining everything.
Genius. I cannot wait for it to happen and work. That is just it's gonna happen at some point.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think Liverpool probably took that into account when looking for Klopp's replacement. Is like you've seen, even at the worst of Liverpool over Klopp's tenure, like he was still there and able to keep the fans on board, keep the players on board, and keep that kind of Liverpool family unit feeling.
He was never down. It was like out of the 10 years he was there, I felt like we had moments where the team was down, but Klopp was never down.
No, yeah.
And from what I've seen with Slot, God, I've never seen him like be sad and all the stuff I've seen.
Yeah, so I mean, he could very well just kind of step into that Klopp role, and I think that would be pretty good for Liverpool to kind of emotionally have the same stability going forward, and obviously some new tactics and ideas, but I mean it's just going to be exciting to see how it all plays out now. It feels weird with like going through a few years of Arsenal being kind of, you had Arsene Wenger for so long, and then Emery kind of played out and fizzled, and then Arteta started a little bit rough and now is getting good, and it's like it feels like Arsenal is one of the teams that's like set, right?
Yeah,
like,
you guys are good for
stable,
a little bit. You don't gotta worry about much.
It feels weird to like now be in that position and kind of watch everyone else try and find their way, but as just a Premier League fan, it's exciting to see some changes throughout the league, right?
We're due.
It's growing, it's changing.
We're due. Speaking of changes, see Mo Salah's new look?
No.
You haven't seen Mo Salah's new look? Go look it up right now.
Oh my gosh, what did this guy do?
Bro, he looks. I think he's gonna have a great season next year. That's how good.
Did he bleach his hair? Oh my God, he shaved it.
He looks refreshed. The pictures that I've seen, he looks like he's ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's. I don't know. This whole article is about if he's getting a hair transplant or not.
Oh my God.
But I mean, I think he's bringing in this new era post Klopp with a change himself.
I think it's right. It's like he's cleansing himself of the past, new future, new me.
I like it.
I like it too. I really do. I mean, his hair is iconic, right?
Yeah.
The curly, like poofy fro he kind of had going on.
Sure,
you could look at his silhouette and you're like, oh, that's Mo Salah for sure. Now he's entering like his dark era now, where I feel like it's gonna be. You don't want to fuck around with Mo Salah.
But I feel like now, like some of these posts are putting the new hair side by side with the old hair. The old hair just makes him look old. The new hair, he's young, fresh, ready to go.
It's a new era. It's gonna be obviously a different style of Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Mo is gonna show this toughness that is different.
I could see it.
I'm speaking early here, but I just want the season to start tomorrow. That's where we're at right now. It's been 2 weeks since the season ended. I'm already like, come on, baby, let's go.
I mean, hey, we only got
2 months.
2.5 months.
When does
end
the
of
season
August,
start?
right? I think last weekend of August, maybe, or mid-August. I don't know. I forget, but it'll come up quicker than we expect. Or just once the Euros get started, that'll take our attention, and then
yep. Hey, you're top of the table right now.
That's it. Starting out strong.
August 17th, 18th.
Okay, see. Yeah, so 2 months.
Bro, we'll be in Vegas that weekend?
Next weekend.
It's the following.
Yeah. Yeah, so see, we'll start the season in Vegas, catch a game. Like
we got to go to Vegas. There's some like Vegas betting arena place. Have you been to Vegas?
Oh,
and like
a few years ago, but not in like a sport betting.
Oh, it's cool. It's a lot of like NFL. When I went, when did I go? In June, so it was NBA Finals. But I think there'd probably be some. I'd put something down for footy that weekend just to do it because I haven't ever done it before.
Now, are you taking the like Leicester go win the Premier League bet, or you're gonna play a little?
I'll do I'll do West Ham relegated.
There you go.
Round 2. All right. Any more Premier League news that we needed to touch up on?
I think so. Not too much. I mean, a lot of manager movements.
No player movement yet, right? We got a little more time for that.
Still rumors of Liverpool looking at Kudus. So
yep.
That could be big. That could be a big move.
That's what Sturridge said. He said he said Gakpo and Kudus could be the next duo for Liverpool, which I'm like,
I could see it, man.
I could see it too. If Gakpo can have a good summer and keep proving to the board that he belongs, I mean, he plays great for the Netherlands. He might make my squad for group stage. I don't know why he wouldn't. He played great in World Cup. I haven't even thought about my squad yet for Euros. So that's another story.
Get that figured out. But
want to jump to Euros really quick just to do a little preview. So if you had to select a team to win it right now, who you got? Who do you like?
I mean, look, I think France is probably your favorite. They haven't had too many guys age out. They're still pretty much the France that's going to have been in the World Cup. Kind of feel like if I had to pick like a sleeper pick, I'm kind of thinking Italy, just because they've been so quiet for so long. But there's some good names in that squad that just I think need to connect a little bit more. Like, I know they won last Euros, so it's not like it's been overly long, but they're just not that national team like dominant force that they used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And what I guess you could say maybe keep an eye on Belgium. This could be one of their last golden generation chances.
We had this talk 2 years ago.
Yep.
My dark horse is probably Spain. I think Spain could make something happen, but I do want to give a strong shout to Portugal. I think Portugal has a really, really good balanced team. Does Ronaldo play and start as the number 9?
Oof.
You kind of have to.
I think you probably do.
Probably just have to. But like you go down their team, dude. It's pretty stacked all the way through. Your back line looks nice. Dalot's probably going to start. Cancelo, Diaz, and then Pepe. Did he make it?
Probably Pepe.
I think Pepe made it. And then you got a nice midfield of Paulinho, Vitinha, and Bruno. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then you got your forwards, which you could mix it up a little bit, but it's probably going to be Bernardo Silva, João Felix, Pedro Neto, a little bit of Diego Jota, and Ronaldo. Like, dude, this team, if I had to put money on the Euros right now, it would be for this team.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're right. They got a pretty solid squad, pretty well balanced, no real like weak spot.
No, they're deep, and I just gave you the starters, and you could go deeper than that. João Neves, Ruben Neves. It goes on and on. It's pretty wild. I might do it. I've never done a tournament bet on any sport, but I'm weirdly confident for Portugal. Did they win Euros 2018?
They won. Yeah, it might have been that one because it was it Adair? I think got that later goal or something to put him over the line.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. We tied. That was the tournament we tied in.
Yes.
Why you gotta say it like that?
Should have been my win.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think we can all expect Croatia to at least make the knockout rounds and then play 120 minutes game after game after game because that just seems to be their strategy.
Vardy show up.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Belgium.
On
I don't
paper,
know.
Belgium looks great.
They look
They
great.
always look great on paper.
But yeah, they have looked great in the past as well, and then they just don't really work out so hot. So see if maybe this is the time. Maybe everyone is experienced enough and old enough to know what to do, what plays to make, get all the pieces together.
I think Netherlands has a strong squad too,
Mm-hmm.
as we kind of touched up on. Their
Yeah,
attacking will be their biggest question mark, right?
yeah.
Depay is still up there. Who else they got on their front line?
Got Gakpo,
Yep, yep.
Daniel Malin from Dortmund. Saw a little bit of. They
Bergwijn.
just
I've always liked Bergwijn.
Yeah, they don't have like your like Van Persie kind of figure anymore.
Nope. No
So
Robbins.
I think their attack is probably their weakest spot, even though they do have good players up there. But I don't think you have like one striker that is like, give me the ball and I'll put it in the back of the
Mm-hmm.
net. It's a lot of good players, but some question marks around their performances. How are you feeling about the England squad though? They're pretty stacked, but we've seen what this England squad can do.
Are they taking PKs at any point in the tournament?
Yeah, look out.
That's my concern. God, they have so many forwards that
Yeah.
they're tentative 33 player list, man. How does this team not bring you to the finals? Harry Kane, Jack Grealish, Phil Foden, Saka, Watkins, Bowen, Eze, Palmer, Tony, Gordon.
I mean, they have to. Like, if
It's the
they
midfield
don't
that's
make,
rough. Or
yeah, I mean,
roughish, barely.
it's not the strongest midfield out of all the teams, I'd say, but I think there's enough talent within this squad, especially in attack and defense. I think looks pretty good. That, yeah, if you don't make the final, I think that's a disappointing Euros for you. Like, you have so many big names. You Ollie Watkins had a great season. Cole Palmer had a great season. Harry Kane, won the I don't know what they call it, but scored the most goals in Bundesliga. Had a good season. Foden had a good season. Saka, maybe not his best season, but was still pretty productive for Arsenal. Anthony Gordon is kind of coming into his role at Newcastle. Jared Bowen was we were shitting on him at the start of the season for all these fantasy
My
picks, and
bad.
he proved us wrong. Yeah, Eze looks good, especially in the later part of the season. You still got Declan Rice, you got Jude Bellingham, Conor Gallagher, who kind of was one of the constants for Chelsea. Yeah, your back line is.
They got Trent as a midfielder here.
Oh, that's right. Interesting.
Yeah, might make my team as a midfielder.
That could be good. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think if this team doesn't make the final, certainly Southgate has to go after that.
Gotta go.
You're wasting too much time with this team. You can't. If this team doesn't make the final, you can't continue with Southgate into the World Cup. I think that would be just madness and a waste of resources, basically.
Fun fact: Elise did not make the French squad. So does that leave him up for grabs with Britain? I'll double check that really quick.
That would be interesting. I wonder if it's I mean, the guy just gets injured so much that maybe they don't want to risk that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even think Mateta, which, I get it. France has a lot of great forwards, but Mateta he's scoring with Crystal Palace, man.
Yeah, and he's a big dude. You can throw him up top, and he's kind of like the new Giroud, I think. Like, he's big dude. He's quick enough, and I think kind of can play those flicks and quick passes when needed, and then once he gets in front of goal, he's at least starting to look pretty threatening and getting shots on target.
Giroud made the squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for Euros.
Yeah.
Sorry, Copa. You didn't get as much attention as I wanted you to, but that's what happens. Excited, though. I'm going to try to go to the Copa game in Kansas City. I think it's beginning of June.
Okay.
I think it's United States versus Uruguay.
That should be nice.
We're gonna try to do that one. And Peru, Canada. We might try to do that one too.
Yeah, warming up for 2026 World Cup. So check it out. See what it's looking like.
Well, we will not be here for the 26 World Cup, but connections. We have connections in the final in the World Cup is in New York. We got connections in New York who are already saying you guys can come out here and stay with us and try to do the finals. So
there you go.
Put that on the back burner too.
Yeah. I thought about getting out to Levi's Stadium for Copa game, but
who's out there?
Let's see. You got Ecuador and Venezuela, so probably not going to make the drive for that.
You got Brazil.
Brazil, yeah. Brazil, Colombia. That could be good. I think that's kind of it though. Like,
all right, hey, if USA makes the finals, Miami Beach.
Oh, Miami Beach, mid-July. Oh, perfect.
Hey man, just saying.
I like it.
Just saying. We're on vacation that week, so if we can cancel our Airbnb and do a little Miami trip instead, I guess we wouldn't know until when? The 10th.
Too late, I think, but
it's only like a 16-hour drive.
It's not bad.
Not bad, but yeah, it's not bad for us. It's a little bit further for you.
Yeah.
Let me get the exact mileage here. I need to know because I might need to talk about this at dinner tonight.
Yeah, you need a contingency plan here.
It's 20. It's 20 hours.
That feels worse.
Dang, is it Orlando that's a lot closer?
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Because I think Miami's basically down at the very bottom. Yeah.
Damn. All right. Well,
well, who knows? See what happens. USA's got to get there first.
It's true. Well, Chad, we got anything else we need to knock off?
I don't think so. I mean, look, if you made it this far in the podcast, just join the Euro League. You're already listening, so
we'll get emails out soon. Hopefully, in the next couple days, we're gonna update the player lists. We'll get the Google sheet going, and then I think we're solid.
We're doing the Survivor Pool again.
Oh yeah, we'll do Survivor Pool. We got how many teams do we have? 4. We don't have 32, right?
No, I don't.
Is it 24? Yeah, 24 teams. So we could either do 12 people with 2 teams, or I could find 24.
I mean, whatever looks like it's going to work out. I think 12 has been achievable in the past, so that's certainly I think doable. Whereas 24 might be. I kind of like 12 because then you get a top team and a low team, right? Yeah. So you're still in it.
We could do Copa. We could do Copa too.
That's true.
How many teams we got in Copa? 10.
I think.
No way.
Is it only? No, it can't be 10.
16.
That feels.
Which is still fairly low, but
yeah.
We'll throw it out there. Throw it out there in the world. See what sticks. All right, Chad. Well, the dogs are barking. They're saying it's dinner time. Not my feet. The actual dogs.
Okay.
But until then, maybe we'll catch up soon. I want to see some actual player talks in the Premier League, and we'll go from there. All right,
for sure.
All right, man. Until then, I'll see you next time. With that, the Hooligans pitch. We're out.